Welcome to Anglesey. Energy Revels. Well, good morning from a rather beautifully sunny Bull Bay here in Anglesey. So today, it's not so much a bucket list day today, but there's been a certain place in Anglesey that's been on my to-do list for quite a while, and that's something called Porth Wen Brickworks. Shouldn't come as a shock to you, it's in the title. This place has been described as one of the most beautiful derelict sites in the UK. Bold claim, but is it worth the claim? We're going to find out. It's about a 5-mile circular walk here in Anglesey this morning, and the first couple of miles up to Porth Wen Brickworks is along the coastal path. So, if nothing else, the weather, and I've waited a while for this weather. The weather today is perfect, it's beautiful. So I'll get to have that all the way up. Now, there may be an alternative route back. Depends how I feel after I've been to the brickworks. I might just walk back the coast because it's absolutely stunning. But enough of that. 2 odd miles. Let's go see what this brickwork's all about. Not for me. I'll stick to the path. And there they all are. Hi mate. Out on the bloody cliffs. Hi, housekeeping. There are car parks in Bull Bay. From the research I did, some are free, some are paid. Because I wasn't sure, because Anglesey is quite popular, I parked in it's like a lay-by on the run in to Bull Bay. I'll put a link up to show you where I stayed. As car parks go, beautiful, great views. It's free. Or at least as far as I can make out, it's free. I'll let you know if I get back to the car if I've got a ticket. But as I walked up towards the start of the route, there is, I'm going to say limited. It's probably got a space for about 10-12 cars. That's free as well. But the one that I parked in is literally about 2,000 foot away from the start of the route. So I got here early, and 7:20, something like that. There was nothing in the car park. But there are a few more, but I think you've got to pay. I think the maximum is about $4.50 all day for this area anyway, which is not a bargain, but if you get here early enough, and this is midweek, so obviously weekends are going to be hugely different, but today's Wednesday, I think. So yeah, free, bargain. I do also think it's worth mentioning, the path is easily identifiable to where I'm going. So navigation isn't really that required, but it is a coastal path and it hasn't been nanny stated yet. So a lot of the coastline isn't fenced off, is exposed. And some of the path does get rather close to the edge. So if you're bringing a dog, I would suggest keeping it on a lead. If you bring in small children, I would suggest you keep them on a lead. Keep an eye on them. Other than that, I haven't found it particularly hilly, haven't found it particularly rocky. It's beautiful. What a way to spend a Wednesday morning. See you in a minute.
You feel like summer days to me, warm, tender, sunny rays. I hope that we are meant to be. You say nothing at all when we meet, yet somehow I know.
So by my reckoning, once I get to the other side of that, I should be able to see the brickworks, because that should be the start of the cove where it is. There's a bit of a beach leads up to it. Should be impressive. Let's get up on that hill.
To stop the run and be the lucky one.
Just like that. There it is. That looks pretty cool. What a lovely little bay. What a lovely little bay. Let's get over there.
What's right or a sin? But as you stand before me, I give in. Picture frames, lavender and pain. They all live here. Within this romance, I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Picture frames, lavender and pain. They all live here. Within this romance.
Porth Wen Brickworks. The path down to it is fine. It's a bit steep, it's a bit gravelly, but it's fine. You can get down, you can get in. Usual YouTube safety feature. It is exposed, it is derelict, you can access it. There's lots of little pitfalls and holes all over the place, so walk around with care. But thus far, this looks pretty impressive. The brickworks was built around about the 19th century, and they used to produce fire bricks for kilns. They're known as silica bricks, I believe. And the silica was actually produced locally, but was brought here to be processed and turned into bricks. And currently, I'm sharing the site with a bunch of sheep. So I'm not sure what they're going to let me see, because some of them are already in the kilns. But yeah, silica was brought here locally, processed here, turned into bricks. And because it's got its own little harbour, ships were able to dock and pick them all up and take them all over the place. So you can still see signs, obviously, of the chimneys. There's remnants of the old boiler rooms, and there's still standing the remnants of the beehive kilns, which we're going to take a stroll over, see if we can have a look. But if Daisy and her mates don't want to play, I'll just leave them to it. They seem quite happy grazing. But let's have a look around this place. Now it is derelict. You can't hide that. And in places, it's just a pile of rocks, and in other places, idiots have been into graffiti. But you can't help but feel like you are still walking through a little piece of history. It is quite impressive. The fact that some of the kilns are still standing. You can probably still see remnants of where the cranes used to be to inch the bricks aboard the ships. But most beautiful derelict site in the UK? You probably still got to say yeah. Because it's in this beautiful cove. The water is crystal clear. I mean, if I had a yacht, this is probably where I'd moor it as well. It's in the cove, it's hidden in the cliff tops. When the sun is shining here, it probably is in the running for one of the most beautiful derelict sites I've ever been to. Granted, that list isn't big, but it is beautiful and it's worth a visit. Now, I'm learning that about Anglesey. I last came a while back to Newborough Forest and the island, and I swore I'd come back. And I've come back today, and all it's managed to make me realise is there's so much to Anglesey to see, and you can't really do it in a morning or a day. So I'm going to have to come back again. But right now, I'm going to get back up this hill and head my way back towards Bull Bay. But yeah, Porth Wen Brickworks. It's worth a visit. And the coastal path is utterly stunning. Decision made. I'm going to go the alternative route back. I'm not going to go back down the coast. But first off, from Porth Wen, I've got to double back on myself for a bit. And then I'll show you the diversion. It's going to be more cross country on the way back, I think. And it might take in a couple of old mills, but it still take me back to Bull Bay, just more of a circular route. I forgot to mention before, you can just make out that farm there, the greenhouse. If you follow the coastal path out of Bull Bay towards Porth Wen, you'll eventually come to sort of a fork in the road for the footpath. You turn right to go towards Porth Wen. It actually looks like you're walking through their front garden, and to a certain degree you are. But have a little faith. Keep walking through their front garden and you'll pick up the path on the opposite side. It threw me for a second and then I could just make out the footpath sign past it, so just keep going. That's the way you're going to come in from Bull Bay and down past the farm. But on the way back, we're going to go up and around there, see what else we can find. Right, we're about 4 miles in, and this route back couldn't be any more different. If you're looking to maintain stunning views on the way back, just go back the way you came. This is West Sea View, a more countryside road, countryside track. It's quiet. The weather helps, but I don't know. Just miles and miles of green and open fields. Doesn't really do for me. Forests, coast paths, tree-lined avenues. But you got to take what you get. I'll take this any day of the week. I can just feel from the moment my rucksack goes on and I lock the car. Bizarrely, I know I've got to walk miles, but I suddenly feel my energy levels rise. My energy levels just lift. I don't know if it's the excitement of the walk, whether it's sunshine, fresh air, or whether it's just being out in nature and blue light. I think it's called blue light. Julia Bradbury talks about it all the time, about how blue light is really important for your well-being. So Julia, if you're watching, she won't be, so there's no point talking. Let's get on. Well, they don't make these for little people, do they? Not sure if this sty's for just climbing over an unfeasibly large wall, or whether it's actually a viewing platform for all the views you can get. Let's go. I almost blinked and missed it. I think that is the old mill that I thought I'd come and see on the way back. It's old, it may have been a mill, but if that's the reason I came back this way, I should have taken the coast road instead, coast path. Never mind, you live and learn. As this route is a bit more rural and you're a bit more off the beaten path, you're very much into the hands of the landowner and the farmers that look after it. So what I will say about this route, and again the route will be linked in the description, some of the paths aren't necessarily that obvious, but if you just stand still, have a quick look at your map, you can figure it out. But because there's no defined path, you just got to figure it out. But it's still pleasant enough, and they have done an awful lot of effort to keep all the footpaths open. So although they're not obvious, they have gone out of their way to keep them open, so fair dues to them. Thanks very much. Right then, there you have it. A little over 5.5 miles. Porth Wen Brickworks and an old mill that wasn't worth the walk. All in all, a really good walk, a nice place to visit. I would definitely recommend going to see Porth Wen Brickworks, it's lovely. My advice, if you're coming, go up and down the coast, it's a much nicer route. I'm going to have to adjust the route because the original map actually starts me right in the centre of Bull Bay. But as I've said, I've parked out of town by the car park, so when I finish the route, what it should have done is taken me back through Bull Bay. But I noticed on the map the main road was closer to the main road, so I've come out that way instead. So yeah, all in all, a nice walk. Give it a go. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.